This is 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, HD3, Indianapolis.
Coming up on a Thursday edition of the Wake Up Call, we'll shift our focus to Super Bowl 58. We'll preview Pacers and Warriors. Scott Agnes will join the show as well. 7 a.m. right here on The Fan.
Welcome to On the Horizon Weekly with Greg Rakestraw on 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
You know, time flies when you're having fun. We are already on episode number 4 of On the Horizon Radio on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The show seemingly gets bigger each and every week. Now, not from a time perspective, well, because we get 60 minutes on this program, but in terms of the amount of information, conversation, coaches, players, media types, etc., that we try to cram on the program in one night. I don't think I can get all of this to you in one evening. We'll do our absolute best that we can. Maria Marchesano, head coach on the women's side of Purdue Fort Wayne, formerly played at Butler and formerly on Austin Parkinson's staff when he was at IUPUI. She will join us coming up in just a matter of moments. There's not one but two players of the week on the men's side. Both those players scheduled to join us. B.J. Freeman of Milwaukee, he'll join us in the first segment of the show. Blake Lampman of Oakland will join us in the second segment of the show. Jerry Palm, you probably know him from CBSSports.com. He is an Indiana guy. Well, he's a region guy, so he is a Purdue guy, but we'll talk to him about kind of what the Horizon League looks like from a national perspective, and we always crunch the numbers with Kelly Ford from the Horizon League office. More guests we will work in between now and 7 o'clock. We will use all of the available real estate that we have. So enough of me jabbering on. Let's get right to the heart of the program. We get a coach on each week, and we are thrilled to be joined by the women's basketball coach at Purdue Fort Wayne. Maria Marchesano joins us now. Coach, congratulations on a fantastic season to this point at 15-9. Thanks for the time. How you doing this evening?
Thank you. Yeah, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
I knew it was important when Tom Davis is writing pieces for you at GoMastodons.com. I've known TD for the better part of 30 years, and he tells the story of the rebuilds you have taken and tackled, and this seems to be the next one. If I've done my research right, the 15 wins ties for the most you've had in this program in the last 10 years, most wins in a season dating back to 2010, 2011. So simply put, how have you and your team gotten the job done this year?
Well, to be honest, we don't really focus on, all those numbers, what's the most we've had in so many years. We've really just focused on improving every day and trying to make strides and take positive steps in the right direction each year so that we can show improvement, Everyone got really excited last year when we made that run, in March and made it down to the Final Four. But my message has been we really haven't done anything. We didn't even have a winning season yet. And right now we're on pace to do that and hopefully make another run in March. And to answer your question, it's just the work. We came in and we established a culture, but the culture is daily habits of doing what it takes. And honestly, the beginning is not fun. The kids, it's a rude awakening. It's a lot of work. When I first took over, a lot of these kids had part-time jobs, on top of everything else they're getting as a Division I athlete. And I'm like, wait, why? You don't have time for that, right? You got to get in the gym. You got to put in the work. And they immediately quit those jobs and got in the gym. And really the rest is history because they've really bought in and worked their butts off this far.
You and I both know Purdue Fort Wayne is a fantastic school, but it is not one that has had a great deal of success since IPFW and now PFW made the jump to Division I some 20 years ago. So in terms of bringing players to campus and to Fort Wayne, what was kind of the sales pitch? What was the recruitment? And what was, I guess, what got these kids to buy into what you were offering there in Fort Wayne?
Yeah, when I moved back to take this job, I had a couple opportunities. And when I compared some other jobs in the Midwest that people might look at as better jobs, I didn't feel the same. I thought Purdue Fort Wayne really had everything I needed to be successful. First and foremost, our city is phenomenal. We've got minor league sports. We've got, concerts, festivals. We've got 3 rivers downtown with stuff to do on the rivers. It's a fun town, and there's a lot to do. We've got, shopping, and we're known for our restaurants and churches. So there's a lot going on. And then when you look at the campus itself, every time we have somebody on campus, they're like, man, I didn't know how pretty it was, or I didn't know how big it was, or, from the street, it doesn't look like this. And so you get them on campus and it kind of sells itself. But then on top of that, we've got some perks. I mean, we have a Big Ten degree. So the kids that care about academics, you're getting a good education. And then our housing is very elite. Our kids get, right off the bat as freshmen, their own bedroom, their own bathroom, their own walk-in closet, their own privacy. So there's a lot to sell about our school. And like I said, whether it was kids, trying to decide if they wanted to leave or stay after the coaching change, or just bringing new kids in, it kind of sells itself. And that part of it's been pretty easy.
Well, as I'm looking at your stats, what jumps off the page to me is that people are not scoring on you. They're shooting 40% from the floor. They're shooting nearly 26% from three-point range, and you're giving up less than 64 points a game. So simply put, how are you getting it done on defense?
Well, we've made it an emphasis, over the past couple years. When I first took over, offense was a big emphasis, and pace, and getting out and pushing the pace and scoring. But these last, I would say, year and a half, when we started, getting hot late last year, and then all summer, all fall, and then this year, it's really just been what we focused on. And honestly, the kids hate to hear it, but it's kind of our identity now. We hold teams, even the games that we're losing, we're holding teams to lower than what they're used to scoring. And so, part of that is we spend a lot of time on it. We do a lot of different things defensively, and our kids really like that. They always love to, find out what tweaks we have for each game. But I think, the old saying goes, you are what you emphasize, and we work on it a lot, and it's paying off for us.
All right, we got to talk about uniform swag. I loved the Dons, the script on the front of your jerseys. Who gets credit for that idea?
Honestly, assistant coach Jazz Geist. She saw a similar design on I forget what school, and she kind of brought it to life. She worked with our gear guy and our Under Armour reps, and came up with a really good design. And I tell you what, man, when we released that video of the new uniforms, the internet went nuts. It went berserk. We immediately got calls from, Purdue, West Lafayette, fans of theirs, fans across the Horizon League. We got all kinds of response from those jerseys, and our kids love them. They look good. They're pretty sharp.
All right, as you and I are having this conversation, you're actually in the midst of something that's nice in February, a 7-day break. So going from Saturday to Saturday without playing, what does that allow for both you and your team this week?
Well, we haven't had a chance to work on us in a long time. The beginning of our conference schedule was grueling. Didn't have a lot of days off, and so this little break comes at a perfect time, because we're a little bit banged up, and the flu's going around, so we've got a lot of kids sick. So we've spent a lot of time this week working on us, trying to get healthy, trying to get rid of all these viruses going around. But it also gives us a lot of time to prep for Wright State, which is a huge game for us. It's kind of weird watching Wright State, because if you compared any two teams in the league, there's probably not two teams that are more similar than us in terms of offensive style and defensive style. The things they do, the things we do, it's like watching, a little bit different in some of the things, but I mean, they run a Princeton style and dribble drive offense, and they ice ball screens like we do. And so there's just so many similarities. They're a fun team to watch, and they're probably the opposite in us, though, that they're going to outscore you. They're not going to defend as well, but they're going to outscore you, 9 games out of 10. So you got to be ready to lock down when you play Wright State.
Final thing before we let you go. Again, I referenced the fact that you played at Butler. You spent 1 year as part of a 24-win season that Austin Parkinson had at IUPUI. I would imagine that the tournament, the Barbasol Women's Basketball Championship, being literally down the street from the Butler campus, that's got to mean something to you if you can get your team back here to Indianapolis, correct?
It's a super cool experience. Last year playing down there, I saw some of the Butler assistants, which I know very well, popped in to see us play. I love Indianapolis, just like I love Fort Wayne. They're both great cities for hosting things. It's a good time down there, and I think the Horizon League does a phenomenal job with that Final Four experience for our student athletes.
Maria, again, congratulations on the great run to this point. I know you've got more left to accomplish this year. Thanks for the time tonight, and best of luck to you and the Dons the rest of the season.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Maria Marquesano, again, in her third year, doing a tremendous job as the women's basketball coach at Purdue Fort Wayne. We go right from one guest in the phone lines to the other, and we're going to kind of let you peek behind the curtain here as to what life can be like for these student athletes. There's not one but two Under Armour men's basketball players of the week this week. BJ Freeman of Milwaukee is the first to join us. Literally, he is fitting us into his schedule between a plane landing in Youngstown and before a class he has to check in on in about 20 minutes. Such is the luxurious life of a student athlete in men's college basketball. BJ, thanks for the time. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great, Greg. How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. So I heard that you guys had a little bit of planes, trains, and automobiles. You had a tire blowout on your way to the airport today. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was asleep while that was going on, so I just woke up and people were just telling me to get on the lift, so I was just kind of shocked me.
The ability to sleep on a bus is a skill that not some of us have, so BJ, so I would appreciate that when you have the opportunity. And I also heard you guys just made the plane in time without any delays, correct?
Yes, sir. We made it with like 10 minutes before the flight took off, so just glad we made it on time. Didn't have no delays.
All right, so now what is this class that you have coming up in about 20 minutes we got to get you ready for?
It's a little it's a math class that's kind of hard. It's pre-calc, so just trying to study for it and just get in the groove and just try to hype myself up to join it and pay attention to what I got to do.
Well, I'll make sure I try to keep you awake for the 5 minutes or so that we have you on the program then tonight. What wasn't hard for you this past week was scoring points. I think you had a combined 45 points in victories against Purdue, Fort Wayne, and IUPUI. Just your thoughts as to what was clicking for you and your teammates in getting back-to-back wins last week.
Yeah, as you know, we had a couple of tough weeks with a couple of losses, and I'm just so proud of the team for just how they take criticism and how we just want to get better day by day and just stack good days and get 1% better. So we came in practice that week saying we got to go 2-0, and that's what we did. So just big shouts out to the coaching staff just for giving us a great game plan, and we executing it and playing great Milwaukee Panthers basketball.
18 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, 4 assists a game, just shy of 40% from three-point range and 81% from the line. So clearly it's been a good year for you individually. Just kind of your thoughts as to how your game has taken shape this year.
Yeah, last year I feel like it was a lot of scoring for me last year with the team that we had. But this year, I'm able to show my all-around game that I can also pass the ball, get my teammates involved. And, I'm just starting to show it like day by day, game by game, just to show people that I can do more than just score, So Coach always says that the defense is going to be the team who's preparing for us. They always focus on me. I'm the key point. So, just trying to find ways that I can impact the game to get the team, get our team to win, and also make Coach happy for him, push me out or nothing.
Yeah, we'll talk about Coach in a second, and you may bring him up in this answer. You're a Selma, North Carolina native. You spent time in junior college out in Kansas. How'd you end up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin?
That's a great question. So I was originally at Moravian Prep. I had one class that I had to make up. I qualified on time, but some of my offers that I had, it weren't there no more. They couldn't wait for me. I totally understand. And then I had a great opportunity to go play with our assistant coach here, Jake Williams, who gave me a chance. And, like one of my best friends down here, I could tell him anything. He always here for me no matter what, through the right or wrong. So having a great relationship with Coach Jake at Dodge City and us winning championships there, I just knew that it was a winning culture. And then him saying that Coach Lundy was coming to Milwaukee, it just all sounded right, because I love winning and they love winning, and everything they told me, it sounded real genuinely. And I just love the whole fit here in Milwaukee. And, you can ask for better fans, better coaching staff, like I always say, than here at Milwaukee.
Well, of course, Coach Lundy knows nothing about North Carolina as well. Was at Queens University in Charlotte. His last year had a 30-win season as they get ready to make the jump to Division I. He moves to Milwaukee, and you have now played for him the last couple of years. What is it that you like most playing for Coach Bart?
Coach Lundy, he's a very competitive coach. He sticks with your side through the rough parts. and the great parts, So, like I said, you can't really ask for a better coach, better than what you're getting out of Coach Lundy. He's always there for you. You need to talk. You can always come down to his office. The tough conversations. If you feel like you couldn't talk to your coach, you can most definitely talk that with Coach Lundy. He's just really understandable. Kind-hearted, but also when it's time to get tough and we got to lock in, he can always put us in that place. And we know we got to lock in, and he means business. So, like I said, you can't ask for a better head coach than what we got here.
As a North Carolina guy, how are you adjusting to winters in Milwaukee?
Oh, man. Last year, the first year in Milwaukee last year, I stayed inside. I didn't really go outside as much because every time I go out, I almost freeze to death. So, the weather down there in Milwaukee, I'm starting to get used to. I'm starting to like it. So, it keeps me inside. So.
I know on Sunday you were on campus, but oftentimes you were playing at the original Mecca downtown, which is literally down the street from the Fiserv Forum where the Bucks plays. One of the things we talk about in the Horizon, you get major market experiences. How many Bucks games have you checked out the last couple of years?
I checked out like 2 or 3. Nothing too crazy. Our schedule is always busy. Even when the off season is here, we're always in the gym or Coach only wants us to come do something. So I didn't really get to see as many games as I wanted to, but I can't wait to see the playoff games out here. I haven't seen a playoff down here in Milwaukee. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. And have you gotten the hookup to any sort of Lakers tickets or swag from a somewhat well-known teammate yet? No, sir, not yet. I bug him all the day, every day about it. Every time I see him, Ham, he gets me some shirts and stuff like that because, I'm a big LeBron James fan. So he ain't gave me no tickets yet. For those that do not know, Darvin's son Dominic plays at Milwaukee, and amazingly, I'm here in Indianapolis. Last year when Milwaukee played in Indy, A, they played a noon game, and B, the Lakers were in town. And so because of that, Darvin got to come to a game here in Indianapolis to watch the Panthers play, which is very rare, as BJ knows. BJ, I know you're busy, man. I know it's been a long day and you got class to get to. Before we let you go, you are in Youngstown. You're playing one of the best teams in the league tomorrow night. Give me a quick scouting report, what you expect from Youngstown State tomorrow evening. Youngstown, they're a great home team. We know they're going to come in there and try to punch us in the mouth. They're very well coached. They got an all-around team, a team that really has experience in D1 and college basketball in general. So we know that we got to come in there and play a great 40 minutes of basketball and play our basketball. And, if we do that and we stick together and, like Coach always says, the enemy is not in our room or in our circle, and we take care of business, I just feel like we can get the win. So you guys just have to stay tuned tomorrow. There we go. Out. We'll be watching on ESPN Plus to check it out. BJ, thanks for the time. Congrats on the award, and good luck in calculus this evening. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me. You got it. And I want to thank Chris Zills, who handles the athletics communications for Milwaukee. He and I were in constant contact today as they were a little concerned what their flight schedule is going to be like. Frankly, it's a lot of bus travel in the Horizon League. Milwaukee to Youngstown is one of those where you go, maybe we should fly this time. And they had their pitfalls with it, but got there on time, got to the interview on time, and I don't have to delay a young man from getting to class either. That's certainly a very important thing. Let's take a quick timeout. We've got another Men's Player of the Week, and all of our Players of the Week are brought to us by Under Armour. Blake Lampman will join us in the next segment of the show, and who knows, because we've got so many great guests to get to, we'll see who else might join us in the next segment of the show. This reminder, Barbasol is the presenting sponsor of the Men's and Women's Horizon League Basketball Championships. Tickets are available. HorizonLeague.com has more. Anthem School Day is going to be a part of the festivities, as is the Vallejo Fan Zone. And KeyBank will sponsor the International Women's Day event. Again, March 11th, March 12th, 6 games, 2 days, one amazing location at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Always, HorizonLeague.com has more. Back with more in a moment on the Horizon Weekly, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
There are screening tests to catch cancer early. Visit cancer.org/getscreened.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The holidays might be over, but the fun doesn't have to stop. Keep the good times rolling into the new year with Royal Pin Entertainment. Whether you're planning a company party or just enjoying time with family and friends, Royal Pin has the perfect recipe for fun. Picture this: bowling with friends, laser tag battles, and an arcade packed with excitement. The full-service cafe ensures that even the pickiest eaters will find something they love. Hosting a large group? Royal Pin's catering menu has it all, from mouth-watering appetizers to succulent prime rib dinners. And Royal Pin has teamed up with Daredevil Brewing to bring you the new Royal Pin Lager, a perfect way to toast the new year and add a little extra cheer to your celebration. Go to royalpin.com to reserve your lanes and skip the line.
Set 'em up, knock 'em down, send them flying, spinning round.
Royal Pin Entertainment, where the magic of the good times never ends.
Royal Pin, bowling, bowling. Royal Pin.
JMV here for my friends John and Chris Love at Love Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter weather is here, and you need to make sure your furnace is safe and ready for these chilly nights. Tell them JMV sent you, and Love will waive the $95 service fee. Make sure your furnace is running safe and efficiently, and should you need a new furnace, Love is a Heil Heating and Cooling dealer. 317-353-2141. Let Love and Heil take care of your home today. 317-353-2141. Tell them JMV sent you.
Are you tired of feeling like just another worker? The Marion County Sheriff's Office is now hiring jail control operators. In this job, you'll provide security without physical contact. You'll monitor closed-circuit cameras. You'll observe, evaluate, and be able to build a career. Because this is more than just a job. Be more. Apply today at joinmcso.indy.gov. That's joinmcso.indy.gov. Finally, the biggest Sunday in the game is here. See Kansas City battle San Francisco. Show up early at your favorite Twin Peaks Lodge. The first 100 fans get a free square, and every fan walks away with a free fried pickles bounce back. And no one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Tequila cocktails, bourbon, top shelf spirits, local craft beers, and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. And don't forget about the 29-degree drafts.
Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Safe Auto Insurance is now Direct Auto Insurance. What's the difference? Basically, the name. Direct Auto offers savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, just like you're used to, which means you never have to make trade-offs when it comes to paying for car insurance. So don't even think about carpooling to work with Talkative Ted. It's time to stop compromising and keep driving with Direct Auto. Get a free quote at directauto.com or call 1-877-GO-DIRECT. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day-Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Today, 1 in 5 working-age Americans has a mental health condition.
People in all types of jobs and at all levels.
And the key to helping us succeed is a supportive and inclusive workplace.
All of us have a role to play in making that happen.
So what can I do to help?
As a CEO, I can set the tone for supportive culture.
As a manager, I can offer assistance and accommodations.
As a coworker, I can listen and be a source of support to my colleagues.
As someone with a mental health condition, I can ask for what I need to perform my best.
I can offer all employees the supports they need to deliver on the job. For the team
and for the business.
What can I do?
What can I do?
What can I do?
I can remind others
that we all benefit from workplaces that promote good mental health.
Mental health-friendly workplaces are more important than ever.
And all of us have a role to play in promoting them.
Learn more at whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Prescription opioids can be addictive and dangerous. I was given a prescription opioid pain medication, and within only a few months, I was completely addicted. I lost everything. I had to leave school, stop playing sports in college, and I started to watch my life slip away. I want people to know that these drugs are addictive. One prescription can be all it takes to lose everything.
Prescription opioids. It only takes a little to lose a lot. Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness.
The Indianapolis Public Library. More than just books. Visit your local branch today.
Indy Humane. Find your new best friend today. Visit indyhumane.org. Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org.
No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
Query and Company.
Pacers All-Star Tyrese Halliburton joining us.
While I've been out, the biggest thing that I've been paying attention to is just Pascal, being around him, how he operates on a daily basis. From afar, you can't tell how good of a communicator he is, how willing he is to listen, and we're just going to figure it out. That's the great part about the year is we got 30-something games left, and over time, that's the great part about adding a guy mid-year, especially a guy of his caliber, that where he's just going to fit in right away.
Query and Company, weekdays noon to 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
It is On the Horizon Weekly. Greg Rakestraw is my name. James Adams is our producer. And thanks for spending part of your Wednesday evening with us on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Thanks to those of you listening along on the Horizon League YouTube channel as well. This portion of the program presented by the Capital Group and IUPUI. As advertised, not one but two. We had co-players of the week this week presented by Under Armour and Horizon League Men's Basketball. Let's catch up with the quote-unquote other award winner for the week. Our Under Armour Men's Player of the Week, co-player of the week, actually, is Blake Lampman of the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Second leading scorer on the season, 14 points a game, just shy of 40% from three-point range in the season. And Oakland heads into the next batch of Horizon League action, 10-3 atop the Horizon League standings, which I know that sounds very good to the grad student at Oakland University that joins us now. Blake, congratulations on the award. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course, and just your thoughts as to what you did well that most importantly allowed your team to do well last week.
Obviously, I think I shot the ball pretty well, and it kind of my body for the first time all season really hit that next level, next gear, and got to give a shout out to my training staff. Probably one of the best in college basketball, honestly. Jim Scholler, he was with the Grizzlies and recently with the Pistons. He joined our staff last year, and I've been dealing with some injuries all season. But the last couple of weeks, I've been able to get healthy, and you can see it on the court. I can kind of get to the next level of explosiveness, and ultimately, I think that helped me this week. So.
Well, to that point, you played 37 minutes in each game. You scored 26 points in each game, and you went a combined 12 of 24 from three-point range. I think those numbers help explain why you're the kind of co-player of the week. But again, just your thoughts overall on the quality of basketball that you and your teammates are playing heading into the final month of the regular season.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys that can put the ball in the hoop. Chris Conway's having a hell of a season. Trey Townsend, obviously, I believe he got the award earlier this year. And then we got guys like Jack Gokley that can really shoot it. And, we play as a team. Obviously, it's cool to get awards like this, but honestly, I don't think anyone really cares about it. We want to win. We want to win not only now but in March. And, we've a couple of us, me, Trey, and Chris, we've been to the Horizon League Championship. We weren't able to get it done back in 2020. And, we're itching to get back. So that's the main focus. And like I said, it's coming together at the right time, and we're hoping to keep this momentum going.
As I also referenced, you're a grad student, which means what has been a longer – you cited the 2020 example. That's 4 years ago. That's 5 years of college basketball. You also know, good or bad, that your time as an Oakland Golden Grizzly is about to come to an end. Just your kind of thoughts on that finish line being in sight.
Yeah, my body's definitely letting me know that it's been 5 years, no doubt. But no, it's been a tremendous 5 years, and I'm so thankful that I got the opportunity to play here. And like I said earlier, me, Trey, and Chris, we're going on year 4 and year 5 playing together. You don't really see that in college basketball nowadays, and I think it's not only showing with our success on the court, but with the brotherhood that we have. These are some of my best friends and my brothers for life that I'll have. And like I said, I'm so grateful and thankful that I got an opportunity to play here.
It is uniquely rare these days that somebody spends 5 years in one place. Did you ever think about going someplace else, or was it always just the right feel and the right fit for you over this half a decade?
I think I would be lying if I didn't look at all my options.
Sure.
I know, me and Campy have had an up and down relationship, no doubt. It's stronger than ever right now, and he'll be go down as one of the greatest coaches of all time, and I have the utmost respect and love for him. But no, I was a walk-on when I came here, and I had to go through some times where I was put on scholarship and put off scholarship, and so there was definitely some times to see, what was the best decision for me and for my family financially, and ultimately I decided to stay each year, and I think my decision and my teammates' decision, it was a two-way street on why we stayed, and yeah, like I said, it's not something you see in college basketball, but my brother's a football player, and he had a wedding this winter, and he had 300, 400 people there, and it was all his boys from his football team, and that's just a bond that I wanted to have as a freshman coming in. I wanted to have, and early on, it didn't look like I was going to get something like that, but with guys staying, it's created a culture, a family like over here, and I'm so grateful for it.
I know you are hoping to write your greatest chapter, frankly, here in Indianapolis by winning the Horizon League tournament on March 11th and 12th and making your way to the NCAA tournament. I would imagine one of those greatest moments, though, to this point, even if you might have been injured and watching as a spectator, you guys got a big win against Xavier earlier this year. Tell me about that night and that game.
Yeah, it was bittersweet for me, obviously, because I wasn't playing, but I was so happy for the guys. I was so happy for our program, and I was just trying to do anything I could to help us get the win. I'm yelling from the sideline, trying to be an encourager and a leader as much as I could, and my coaching staff wrote Coach Lamp on my chair, so it was awesome for our university. It was awesome for our guys to go into a place like Xavier, an incredible basketball environment. I tell you what, they absolutely love basketball over there in Xavier, as you know, and they were a great team. That was a great win for us. It was a dang near sold out, and we sent everybody home with an L, and we were kind of the road villains, and it jump started our league play, and like you said, it was tough because I wasn't playing, but obviously I didn't want to lose a game. I'm a competitor, and I truly love these guys, and I was so happy for them, and it was an awesome environment, and the bus ride home was even better than the game itself. So that just speaks to the culture and the brotherhood that we have over here.
Nothing like a guarantee game. You go home with both a win and a paycheck. Life is good for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
There may be basketball in your future after your playing days at Oakland, but from a degree standpoint, you are a graduate student, so you're already a degree holder. What are you hoping the Oakland education will do for you? What's the career path once basketball is done for you?
Yeah, well, I got a marketing degree. I graduated last year, and like you said, I'm a grad student. I'm in an organizational leadership program right now, and I'm hoping to finish it this summer. It's a 1 or 2 year program. I should be able to get it done in 1 year. So, like you said, I'm trying to play basketball. I'm trying to maximize whatever my body can. And then when that's over, I have no doubt that I'm going to get into coaching, whether that's a GA position or a special assistant, whatever it may be, whatever God has in store. But I definitely want to surround myself with basketball, with sports, and hopefully take Greg Campy's job one day.
He's going to coach there forever. You might be waiting for a while because we've all kind of felt that way
I'm aware.
over the course of the last 40 years. Well, I hope your scoreboard as of this summer reads 2 degrees and 1 championship. Congratulations on the Player of the Week honor, and I look forward to seeing you here in Indianapolis in a few weeks.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir.
Again, that is Blake Lampman, and we go from one extreme, so to speak, a fifth year on campus playing for Greg Campy at Oakland, to the Freshman of the Week on the women's side. Now, let me explain. Michaela Purdue of Cleveland State is our Horizon League Under Armour Women's Player of the Week. Cleveland State got a massive win against Green Bay on Saturday. Those two teams tied in terms of losses, both with 2 atop the women's standings in the Horizon League. We had Mikhail on the show a couple of weeks ago. So you know what? Let's change things up. Let's have a conversation with the winner of the Freshman of the Week, who, by the way, has done this now for a 4th time. You just heard from one of the men's Under Armour players of the week. The women's Under Armour player of the week is Michaela Purdue of Cleveland State. Big win for them on Saturday. Michaela also was on the show just a couple of weeks ago. So we thought we would make a pivot to the Freshman of the Week, who has now won this award 4 times in her debut season at Northern Kentucky. It is Carter McRae that joins us now. Carter, I know just as important for you, your teammates and you have won back-to-back games for the first time this season. Congratulations on the award. Congratulations on the 2 wins. How you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Yeah, we're on a little bit of a roll.
I was going to say, you've won 3 of your last 4, 6 wins in total for the season. So I guess over these last couple of weeks, just simply put, what has clicked for you and your team?
Yeah, we've just been playing really good basketball. I think now that everyone's pretty much healthy, we've gotten into like a groove where we're playing a lot better defense and our offense is a lot better. And, yeah, we're just playing a lot better basketball.
As an individual, your stats are eye-popping. You are the team's leading scorer and rebounder, and you are averaging a double-double in this your first year on campus. I guess just what sort of goals or expectations did you set for yourself coming into the year, and have you surpassed those already?
Yeah, I didn't expect this at all. Just to have the opportunity I had to play as much as I do and to have as big of a role as I do on the team is just amazing. Coming in, I knew I had the opportunity to play, but I never could have imagined this, and I'm just really grateful for it and blessed. So but yeah, it's going well, and I'm still looking to improve. I'm not satisfied with this, but yeah, it's going pretty good.
An Ohio native, you didn't grow up too far away from Northern Kentucky, but still at least a couple hours away. Why was Highland Heights and NKU the right place for you to play college basketball?
Yeah, so I went on an official visit, and I just really liked the vibe, and everything felt genuine, and I just really thought I could vibe with the team, and I really just liked the school, and it wasn't too far from home, and it's like near Cincinnati, so it's in an area where there's things to do, and yeah, that's pretty much why. It felt like a gut decision.
Well, clearly it's been a good one for you from a basketball standpoint. I know you're just getting started in your academic career, but what's the major for you at Northern Kentucky, and how are classes going for you so far?
Yeah, so my major is biology. I want to hopefully go to medical school in the future. The classes are going really good, actually. I'm enjoying it. I really enjoy the labs and like the hands-on experiences. So, yeah.
I don't think there's much in the way of easy majors at most colleges. I know that a pre-med track for biology is most certainly not one of them. That's a lot of work in both class and on the court. How are you learning to balance that over these first few months as a college student?
Yeah, so the fall semester, we didn't have too many games, so it wasn't bad. But, yeah, this semester it's been a little bit of a balance, but I'm getting the hang of it. I just really enjoy my classes. And the class sizes are pretty small, so the, connection I have with the teachers and my classmates, so I can, get notes from someone or work with other people, so that makes it a lot easier.
You're also learning about life on the road playing college basketball. As we speak, you and your teammates are getting a bit of a lunch break because you've got the Milwaukee Green Bay swing. I got the order reversed. You're going to Green Bay first to play tomorrow night. So what has the travel been like for you as a freshman in the Horizon League?
Yeah, it's been a lot. This trip has been really fun so far. I look forward to traveling, but it too can get tiring at times. But yeah, I think it's fun going to new places I've never been before. I've never been in Wisconsin. I've traveled through it, but yeah, just experiencing new things and new places is really cool.
There is a pretty good basketball team awaiting for you on Thursday night in Green Bay, one of the 2 best teams in the league. Just give me a quick scouting report. What do you have to do well to compete with a really good Green Bay team tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think we just have to play really good defense and just communicate and run our offense well. Basically do what we've been doing for the past few games here. We have confidence in ourselves, and I think we're on a roll. So we feel we could do anything at this point.
Again, averaging a double-double and the 4-time Freshman of the Week in Horizon League play. It is Carter McRae of NKU joining us. We'll let you get back to the road. Thanks for the time. Congratulations on the wonderful start to your career, and best of luck in Wisconsin this weekend.
Thank you.
Carter McRae, again, the Freshman of the Week. Michaela Purdue, for a second time in the last 4 weeks, the winner of the Under Armour Horizon League Women's Player of the Week. We will talk both men's and women's hoops. We'll start on the men's side because we're going to do some number crunching. We'll double down on it. Jerry Palm of CBS Sports, Kelly Ford from the Horizon League office. We'll wrap it up next. This portion of the show brought to us by Gatorade, Deister Machine, and Franciscan Health. We'll back to wrap up another edition of On the Horizon Weekly after this. 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
JMV for the best in realty. Mark Dietel Realty, 317-755-4232. That's 317-755-4232. Online, markdietel.com, markdietel.com. Today, Claire and Gary in Danville, they have a great story. Retiring, moving to Florida. The home in Danville on the market for almost a year with the previous agent. Nothing moved. They hired Mark Dietel, and things changed fast. Got the offer they thought they would never get. That's what he does. He gets you exactly what you're looking for. The best in realty is Mark Dietel and Mark Dietel Realty. In fact, Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. It's Mark Dietel. Mark Dietel Realty, 317-755-4232, 317-755-4232. Online, markdietel.com. That's markdietel.com. Today.
The new year is here. Time for change. Start a recession-resistant new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI with My Computer Career in just months. Already in IT? Build your cybersecurity skills and prep for thousands of open positions employers nationwide are desperate to fill. Attend classes live online or on campus. Make this your year. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
Nothing says I love you like romantic, timeless jewelry. Even better when you can save an extra 20%. Right now at Diamonds Direct, all fashion favorite jewelry is 20% off. That's earrings, bracelets, pendants, bands, colored gemstone jewelry. Get 20% off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable prices. Special financing too. Get her something she can enjoy and appreciate for years to come. A fashion favorite from Diamonds Direct. Shop in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra. The perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Butler basketball action returns to Hinkle Fieldhouse Saturday afternoon with a 2 p.m. tip-off versus the Providence Friars. The Dogs are delivering the Butler way this season with unselfish play, timely shot-making, and toughness. And showing the Big East they're for real, earning upset and late-game come-from-behind wins. So all aboard with Coach Thad Matta and these Butler Bulldogs as they fight to stay in contention for an NCAA tournament bid. Get to Hinkle Saturday. Visit butlersports.com/buy tickets.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
When plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing crew knows how to put water in its place. We do it all, from the kitchen sink to delicate repairs in historic homes. And we'll always give you honest advice at a fair price. So if you're worried about the cost of plumbing repairs, call today for a free second opinion on a competitor's estimate.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Xavier hosts Creighton in a Big East basketball battle. Saturday at noon on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Now I have to catch up with an old friend because he and I have been having this conversation or some variation of it for 25 years. I knew him before he was CBS cool, when he was collegerpi.com cool. That would be Indiana Zone, although Purdue is the proper affiliation to make sure I give. It's Jerry Palm that joins us now, CBS's resident bracketologist. Hello, my friend. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. And again, because this is On the Horizon Weekly, hence a focus on the Horizon League, how many conversations, Jerry, do you have like this about, say, a one-bid league like the Horizon?
Probably enough that you could count them on one hand in any given year. But there are people that, that cover it. They may not talk to me about an entire league, but there's a team in a one-bid league that they're interested in, and so they'll ask me specifically about that. And that's usually the type of conversation I'll have.
All right, so with that, how much time do you spend on a league like the Horizon in terms of setting up your field of 68 that you update seemingly on a more regular basis as February turns into March?
Yeah, so I have a way of automating which team I am using for the automatic qualifier for each conference, all 32. And that is, I take the team that has the fewest conference losses and use the net to break the tie. And that's how I deal with the fact that not everybody's played the same number of games necessarily on any given day. So I think right now that's Oakland, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
And but it's varied. It's almost a week-to-week thing. It's been really competitive at the top of the league this year, which is fun. And Oakland's a great program. Greg Campy, he's got to be the longest active coach in terms of years of service.
You nailed it. He was trailing Coach K in Boeheim forever, and now it's him. 40 years at Oakland. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite coaches. Just guys that I've met along the way. He's terrific, and I'm glad to see him having some success this year. But I've always had a soft spot for the Horizon League teams that have kind of moved in and out, and but that's one of those teams that I've always had a soft spot for. All
right, so with that, how do you go about weighing? Because let's face it, normally we're talking about the highest or the best ranked team from a one bid league is usually a 12 seed. From 13 to 16, it's almost all universally, champs that are from one bid leagues. How do you weigh those 13 through 16s in these projections?
The same way I do all of the others. You look at things like strength of schedule. You look at the quality of their wins, the quality of their losses. Now, you're not seeing a lot of quad one wins in that part of the bracket, but you do occasionally see a quad one win down there somewhere. But you're looking more at, how did you schedule? How did you do against the better teams you played? Because everybody's probably played a game against, a team that's going to be in the tournament. And so you kind of look at those sorts of performances. But it's the same thing. It's, strength of your schedule. Who'd you beat? Who'd you lose to? How many bad losses do you have? That's that sort of a thing. The net, just like at the top of the bracket, near the bottom of the bracket, the net is not really used for those kind of decisions. It's really designed to put teams in the quadrants. Although in the bottom quarter of the bracket, because the net rankings are have greater separation, you'll see better correlation with net rankings and the seeds at the bottom part of the bracket, but it's not really used that way.
For those that might be curious, Oakland currently the HL representative, seed number 15, playing Kansas in Omaha. But again, as always, that is subject to change. Both team, both seed.
Playing them in Lawrence.
Exactly, close, but not there. Of the teams that you think are likely 12 through 16, let's face it. When somebody says 5-12, we think about an upset in the NCAA tournament. When you put those numbers together, of those teams 12 through 16, anybody kind of stand out to you as, hey, if this team gets the right matchup, they can win a game or two coming up in March?
Yeah, I mean, Appalachian State is one because they've already done it. They beat Auburn this year. So that's a team that's already had success against a team of that caliber. And so then you already have confidence knowing that you can do it. It depends on who comes out of the Valley. Indiana State is a good team, but they might be seeded higher than 12.
Right.
If they come out of there. If it's Drake, they're more likely a 12 seed kind of team, and they were in the tournament last year. They play IU to start the tournament last year.
May have.
Yeah. Anyway, they were a 12, and now if they go back, is the experience of having been in the tournament. And they've got Tucker DeVries, and he's a guy that could be playing at a higher level school. It's good enough to do that, but he plays for his dad at Drake, which is great. Anyways, if they get in, they would have a shot at it. I'm not entirely ruling out the possibility of that being a two-bid league.
And with that, there's so much more I'd like to talk about with Jerry Palm, but in the interest of time and to keep the conversation based on the Horizon League, let's crunch numbers with Kelly Ford to wrap up the show. We go from CBS Sports bracketologist to the equivalent of that in the Horizon League office as we crunch the numbers with our man Kelly Ford. Good afternoon or good evening, my friend. How are you?
Good evening, Greg. I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. And again, we have been tracking the story on the women's basketball side between Green Bay and Cleveland State, kind of as the lead of our conversation over the last couple of weeks. Vikings beat the Phoenix on Saturday. Both teams now with 2 losses on the season in conference play. What does that do from a resume standpoint for the Phoenix of Green Bay?
Yeah, so for Green Bay, it was a great game this past weekend between those two teams, Greg, as you alluded to. For Green Bay, that's a quad 2 loss. So what we know from the committee selection or the selection committee's behavior in recent years has been that quad 1 and quad 2 wins get rewarded. You don't necessarily get punished for losses in quad 1 and quad 2. So it's a great win for Cleveland State. That's a quad 2 win for them. It's a quad 2 loss for Green Bay. So don't expect Green Bay to be hurt too bad by the selection committee. And Cleveland State right now with that win, they're 11-2, top of the league. They would be the Horizon League women's basketball AQ into the tournament. Green Bay still has a very good case for an at-large and has been in as an at-large in the most recent bracketology released by ESPN.
Well, we have spent so much time focusing on Green Bay and Cleveland State, we really haven't talked that much about teams, say, from 3 on down. Right behind those two would be Purdue-Fort Wayne. We spoke to Maria Marquesano off the top of the show. Let's talk about Wright State now, just because that's the game to watch, they and Cleveland State. Tell us about it.
That is the game to watch this week in women's basketball in the Horizon League, in my opinion. And, Greg, that game's coming right up. It is tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. Wright State hitting the road to play Cleveland State in all-Ohio battle. As you said, Wright State right now tied for number 3 in the league. Cleveland State, with that half-game lead, they certainly want to get the win to move themselves a game clear with 2 more games played than Green Bay before Green Bay gets to start playing again tomorrow. So Wright State's a really good team. Coach Carey's got them working down there in Dayton, and they're much better this year than they were last, and they're certainly a team to watch come March here in Indianapolis.
From a men's standpoint, it has been a rotating chair seemingly at the top of the league, and I don't think anybody is overly surprised about that. Right now it is Oakland that is atop the lead at 10-3, and again, they've got one of the better wins in the league this year when they won at Xavier in late November. We talked about that in the last segment with Blake Lampman. I guess just your thoughts on an Oakland resume currently atop the Horizon League men's standings.
Yeah, Oakland's got a great resume, Greg. They got that win against Xavier, as you said. That's a quad 1 win for now, and there's a 97% chance that is a quad 1 win on Selection Sunday. In addition to that, Oakland does have the win against Youngstown State. There's an 84% chance that ends up being a quad 2 win for Oakland. Who knows, of course, what happens in the Horizon League tournament if those two teams were to face each other, but those are some good wins on Oakland's resume. Also important, they are currently clean in quad 4, meaning they have no quad 4 losses. So right now, from an NCAA selection committee standpoint, Oakland certainly has the most attractive resume of the men's teams in the Horizon League.
And again, a 15th seed in Jerry Palm's latest bracket, as we learned a moment ago. And we'll kind of talk about the national perspective on the league in terms of men and women to round out our portion of the conversation. But again, men's games to watch. Not surprisingly, Oakland's in one of those, but you've got 2 you're keying on this week. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I've got 2 this week that really stand out, Greg, and I'll take them in order here as they're going to be played on Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Green Bay, really big surprise in the league. I know we had Coach Sonny on the show last week. what he's doing up in Green Bay is fantastic. They are going on the road to Youngstown State, a team that I just mentioned a moment ago. It's a great win for Oakland that they have. This is the best chance remaining in the regular season for Green Bay to add to their resume. There's an 84% chance that this game would be a quad 2 game at the end of the year. So if Green Bay is able to get it, it would be their first quad 1 or quad 2 win, which could be really important if they end up being the Horizon League AQ. And right now they are tied for number 1 in the standings, as you mentioned. For Youngstown State, I mentioned Oakland. They're clean in quad 4. So is Youngstown State. They have the best net in the Horizon League right now at number 112. So they're a team to certainly keep an eye on. If they win this game, it won't do much to improve their resume. The committee has shown us they don't necessarily value quad 3 and quad 4 wins too much, but a Youngstown State loss would be damaging because that would be a quad 4 loss, and they would no longer be clean in quad 4. The other game, Greg, that I've got my eye on this week, it's also on Saturday, a little bit later, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. It's Oakland, the team we've talked about, against Wright State, the team right now that's number 4 in the standings, won this league just 2 years ago. This is the best chance remaining in the regular season for Oakland to add to its resume. There is a 20% chance that this game ends up being classified as quad 2 at the end of the year. So if Oakland wants to continue building on that resume, they need to get this one. And Wright State, they're always right there at the top of the standings at the end. They're going to try to use this as a springboard for down the stretch here.
All right, so again, we touch on this kind of tangentially as we wrap up our part of the show on the Horizon Weekly. Greg Rakestraw, Kelly Ford. So we crunch numbers around the Horizon League on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. But again, Oakland checks in at a number 15 seed as of now, if they're the automatic qualifier by winning the Barbasol Horizon League men's basketball tournament. From a conference ranking standpoint, how did the Horizon League check in both men's and women's hoops with about a month left to go in the season?
Yeah, we're coming right down to the stretch here, Greg, and it's going to be exciting. Right now, on the men's side, in the net, our best teams by the net ranking, Youngstown State's at 112, Oakland at 138, Wright State 150, and Purdue Fort Wayne's at 158. When you put it all together, on average right now, the Horizon League is number 20 out of 32 conferences in Division I in the net rankings. That would be our best finish in the net rankings since the net was introduced back in the 2018-19 season. So it's been a really good year, top to bottom, for the Horizon League on the men's side. And if you look at the women's side, again, we've talked at length about the two teams at the top. Green Bay, number 41 in the net. We've got Cleveland State at number 83. Another team to keep an eye on there, Purdue Fort Wayne. They're number 151. And when you put it all together, right now, the Horizon League on the women's side, we're number 17 out of the 30 Division I conferences. That would be the best we've been in 3 years. So just top to bottom, men and women, it's been a great year with regard to the net this year, and we look forward to seeing how it wraps up here this next month, as you mentioned.
Fingers, toes, abacus, slide rule, he's got them all. It's Kelly Ford as he crunched the numbers with us each and every week. We'll do it again next Wednesday. Thanks, my friend.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate you.
We are up against it time-wise, so first things first, thank you, James Adams, for pushing all the right buttons. Thank you to great sponsors like Cripe, the Indianapolis Indians, and Telebuilding, and Miller Insurance that make this possible. There were two topics I simply ran out of time to get to tonight, and we will have them next week for the show. If you have seen this viral video of somebody getting their head shaved to distract the free throw shooters from a team, that happened in the Horizon League. That happened in the Oakland game this weekend. Ian Allen is the young man that now has less hair than he used to. He'll join us in the show next week. And also in the Detroit area, we want to make sure we mention this before we exit stage left. Detroit suddenly lost one of its sons. The Detroit Mercy claims that the Detroit Pistons claim, that everybody in Detroit claims, Earl the Twirl, Earl Curitan. Remember the 1994 NBA World Champion Houston Rockets, was a first-round draft pick out of the University of Detroit, led them to the NCAA tournament his senior year. He died suddenly on Sunday at the age of 66. He actually broadcast the Detroit Mercy game on Saturday with Dan Hasty. Dan is the radio voice of the Titans. He will join us on the show next week as well. Wanted to make sure that we sent our condolences and positive thoughts to everyone involved with the athletic program at Detroit Mercy, because I know they are hurting this week. With that, thank you for listening. We'll do it again next Wednesday night. It's on the Horizon Weekly on 93.5 and 107.
Hey, it's JMV, and the future of joint pain